Okay.
Welcome you to the Wi-Fi Lunchtime service, your service for revisiting fellowship and inner life ministry. I encourage you to allow yourself to partake in the very aspects of life of this service and experience growth with us. Relax and take a few deep breaths and allow gratitude and thankfulness to rise within you. Follow with me as I go through these declarations. Your service for revisiting fellowship. I am not here. Sacred life is here, glorifying itself as me. This thing called life is conscious of itself through me and through all the units of itself. This life, which is the body of the entire universe, is my mother and is also the life of me. And this life supports and promotes itself as me. This one life is the awesome, intelligent, animating force. It is the life of the element within which I live. I am spirit, one with the spirit of all life, empowered by life to bring life's supreme purpose into fruition. This life that I live is the life that has come into its own self as me. There is a power beyond me that can handle all things that are beyond me. And this is working for my highest good now. I cannot afford to be here on earth. I cannot afford not to be here on earth. I am here for the power that brought itself here as me and constitutes my being, and for itself, what the universe needs to fulfill is here as me, and for me to accomplish it. What the universe does to itself is what is done to me. It supports itself for its own complete good, and so it does to me and through me. I am the life of life that knows itself, promotes and fulfills itself. I am grateful for all that comes up my way as God shows me and guides me through this perfect life I live. Everything I do and is done to me has purpose and intention, and all good I do will come back to me tenfold. Wi-Fi serves to reveal divine identity, advocate Christ culture, and equip humanity for the relevant engagement in life and ministry in an atmosphere of unconditional love, trust, faith, and spiritual power. Our mission is to influence the mindset change through the revelation of humanity's oneness with the divine and equip individuals with the truth of who they are, to the intent of having us firmly grounded to empower others to be impactful in every sphere of life. Our core values are unconditional love, uplifting spirit, integrity, selflessness, trustworthiness, tenacious devotion. We believe that all life begins and ends within the triune Godhead, and all humanity is spiritually included in the love and life of the divine. We believe that this inclusive relationship is delivered timelessly, sustained and guaranteed by the nature of the Father who fills all things. We equally believe in the urgency to make mankind aware of the good news of their redemption from an inferior expression of life into the most attractive and abundant life possible. I'll now pass on to Pastor K.
Hallelujah. God richly bless you, Joshua, for the powerful information and reminding us of what we stand for. Sorry, Reverend.
But that's okay.
Yes, we are grateful to God, to the universe, to be back again here So happy to be present with you at this particular time. I've been away for a bit. It was so good to be. Well, I've been away in presence, as in Mesa here, but I've not been far off from what we are doing. We thank God for the life of Joshua, who is holding the fort. I always listen to you and I get so excited. And in your affirmation, something I was planning over the week, you did say that you are here for the power that brought itself as you. Beautiful. Indeed, I am here for the power that brought itself as me. I'm going to write that and paste it in Nasida's room. I've pasted a few things in her room. As she wakes up and she reads, I've faxed it and I've encouraged her to read certain things before she goes to school. I think this is going to be one of them as well. When Bible talks about writing them on the wall, teaching them to read in the Old Testament, I think these are the sort of things that we need to raise the children awareness to. Not memorizing scriptures. Memorizing scriptures is good, but I'm just saying that's me. The sort of affirmations we need to paste on the walls for the kids to read and come to terms of their real self. Anyway, I am happy to be here, Rev. I know you are happy to see me. Your face. You are happy to see me. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see Joshua. Though I haven't seen your face yet. So, mommy, please show your face. Show your face. Sister Mary, I salute you wherever you are. I know it's morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I've missed you anyway. I've missed you. We thank God for a beautiful session this afternoon. I can only see the end of it. I can only see the power that it comes with. And when I talk about power, it is no take one, take two sort of power. The life-changing power, mindset-breaking power, bondage-breaking power that this session have brought. Indeed, the gospel as Wi-Fi preach, and as we believe and as we stand for, is the announcement of the good news, of your good news, of my good news, our redemption from an inferior point of life, how we have always known ourselves, how we have always seen ourselves, into a place where we'll be able to see ourselves for who we truly are. Yesterday, I was thinking of this. It is good that that's how I was saying that time. I'm not saying I've stopped reading the Bible. I read the Bible every now and then. Something hits my spirit. But not like before, I'll take leave all night, sat down to memorize the Bible. And because I've done that over time, now that I hardly sit down to read every now and then, a verse pops up and just tells me, think about this.
He's all right. He's all right. Just ignore him. He's
got a tablet and
he's fine.
Because the touch screen, he touches it and the screen will go off and he will start crying. And I was talking about our redemption from an inferior point of life into a more abundant life. The verse came to mind because of the week. Bible says, and God took Abraham. Say the land, Abraham and his nephew. Who was his nephew? Was it Lot? Yeah. Lot. They both had enough. So the enough that the land could not contain them. They had enough that the land could not contain them. And so God took Abraham somewhere on the mountain. They said that, well, as far as your eye can see, I will give you. Kadibiha, Rata. As far as your eye can see, I was speaking about, and for far too long, we have taken this literal. Is that, the land was, how could the land not contain the two of them? How much did they have? How much is money in that song? How much did they have that the world could not contain them? And I had this in mind that they were looking at their effort, they were looking at their limitations. God took Abraham and he said, look beyond what you are seeing. There is abundance. Look beyond what you are seeing. As far as your eye can see, that means your eye cannot see the end of the world. It's impossible for my eye to see the end of the world. So have I made you. So you are. You are not limited to your surroundings, to what you have now. You are more than what you see. You are more than what you think. I believe that is what the Bible, what the verse was speaking about. That Abraham will look beyond. Will have that mindset of going beyond what he has. And so I was thinking about this morning, that for us to have that pleasurable life, a life of abundance, when we begin to embrace our spiritual essence, when we begin to embrace our spiritual essence, knowing that, as we've already established, that we are spiritual beings having human experience. What we're having is just human experience. But when we begin to embrace that spiritual essence, that spiritual being, and understand who we are, the human experience will become much better than what we see. Our human experience can only get better when we embrace and understand our spiritual essence, who we are, what we have been made of, what we can do, the abilities, our capabilities, our divine essence, who you truly are. So I said to Abraham, if you begin to embrace yourself, your spiritual essence, and know who you are, your human experience will become better. Your human experience is not limited to what we have now, what you can see, but it can only get better when you become aware, when you begin to embrace and know that indeed you are a spiritual being. And your human experience can only get better when you embrace that and walk in that truth and walk in that awareness. This was having more fun than I am here. He's just looking at me.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I'm still on having that pleasurable human experience. From that inferior point of life into a more abundant, more satisfying life. And as Paul said, for you have known this man after the flesh, henceforth know him no more. And in the same spirit, know no man after the flesh. So when I begin to see myself not after this temple, not after this body, not after the things that are around me, not after what society thinks of me, not after what I have and what do I do not have, but begin to think myself of as one who can call for things that do not exist as though they were. I begin to enjoy Him, that you have life and have it in abundance. That abundance, that's what Christ meant. Having that pleasurable, that abundant, limitless life can only stem from calling for things that do not exist as though they were, because those things exist, but not in a way, in the form that you see, but only you have the power to call them forth to being. That's how I was sharing with you, Rev. Since I came to terms with that, I'm going to share with you about myself and Mary. The sort of things that I'm enjoying, Rev. I know you have an idea, but you have no You've only got a clue as to how much I've told you, but I'm just enjoying so much, man. And it's not that I've got my job now pays me better than what I used to do. When I changed job and I had a pay cut, a lot of money, a pay cut. But the life now that I'm enjoying, it's only because my focus shifted from what my eyes can see, what I can do, and to a more relaxed manner of not giving a damn about whether I can pay this or I cannot pay this. I don't care whether I can pay or I cannot pay. Because I'm only here for the power that brought itself as me. I'm only here for the power that brought itself as me. Life in me come out and have an expression as Charles. I don't know why I'm here, but I can only enjoy the present, can only enjoy the moment, I can only enjoy the now. So I give no thought of tomorrow. I'm not saying don't plan. But if I give no thought of tomorrow now, yesterday I think was the last week Mary was telling me, now you've changed. You do things anyhow. You procrastinate. You do things. There's not. She thinks I'm not procrastinating because I don't stress myself on a lot of things nowadays. I don't have the time to be going about doing this. Just leave it, and it sorts itself out beautifully in its own time. You are the expression of love. You are the expression of wisdom. You are the expression of power. The expression of light. And the expression of the very life of God. For the past couple of weeks, that has been my saying. I just walk out, going out, I say, I'm the expression of love, I'm the expression of light, I'm the expression of life, I'm the expression of power. I always say that before I go out. I'm not asking you to do same, but if you want to do that, it's up to you. Time I sit in the car, I'm going to work. If I get out of the car, I'm the expression of life, I'm the expression of love, the expression of wisdom, I'm the expression of power, the expression of the very life of God. And I'm beginning to see a massive, massive, massive transformation in my life. It is my prayer that even as we are gathered here to share love, we'll walk away with a better understanding, love, a better understanding of ourselves, a better understanding of how to go about our activities, a better understanding of everything. No thought, no idea, no knowledge or wisdom with itself above that of the divine. It's even impossible. I don't even have to go there. It's even impossible. I thank God for your life. And I thank God for a powerful session. I believe by now you know what I mean when I say a powerful session. Thank God for a powerful session. Powerful session. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we are every day I say we wrapping up and we end up not wrapping up. So I'm not going to say we're wrapping up. We just have part 7 of the principle of well-being. And I want us, so we are looking today looked at primarily in this particular principle. We talked about love last week, because as we will all agree, it goes, it moves, and it comes back to it. So we looked at how to reclaim our love energies. The week before that, I had mentioned that love is the elixir of life, and the love we give, the love we extend, is the same love that rejuvenates us, is the same love that refreshes us. And when we are blessed enough to have someone activate a portal of love in us, it's essential that we keep that portal open. And I've said this over and again, that no circumstance or situation in life is enough or is worth you closing your heart over. Okay. And I've said that over and again, that a heart is not designed to be closed at any point. You look at it, if your arteries are blocked, or if your veins are blocked, you're going to start to die. It's just the analogy that I put to it, that allows thought of not considering any situation important or any circumstance important enough for me to shut my heart over. So we talked about love a bit. For those of us who were here, for the next 5 minutes, could you refresh us on anything you took away from last week's session? And the reason I do this is it helps us to, yes, I know I don't know, but for those of us who come in here Sunday in, Sunday out, and by the time we leave here, we've forgotten, we don't refresh ourselves on the discussions that we've had. I personally don't think it's good enough, but at the end of the day, if it's not something that is important to you, then obviously you're not going to spend the time to rethink on it or reponder on it. Or unless we're saying that we are developing amnesia, and that we can't retain, and I don't do these things. So I'm same as all of us who are lending ourselves into this space. I believe that the intent is for us to get better. The intent is for us to grow, and on this path. So we don't let them forget, as the scripture says. Don't be like that man who stands in front of the mirror and walks away and forgets what manner of man they were. As we continually look in the perfect law of liberty, we are changed into the image of the same. So it's important for us to constantly think on these things, and allow the truth and the bullets of truth, the gems of truth, the seeds of truth encoded in them to continually pop up and germinate within us. So yeah, can you take us last week quickly before we proceed with it? Quick, snap, and sharp. For the benefit of those who went here last week. Amma, you were here last week and you disappeared because you don't answer the question.
Yeah, I was here.
What did you hear?
We talked about love.
What about love?
I think we talked about letting go. If you love someone enough, you should be able to let them go, not hold on to like hold on to them so much. Yeah.
Any more from anyone?
Yeah, I wasn't here, but obviously I've listened to it. Yes, predominantly it was about love. If I did hear a portion right, I think you did talk about the fact that we need not put conditions on love. Not to, I mean, which you mean for us not to expect or expect someone to love us in return, or someone to reciprocate the love that we have shown. Because showing love is give and take business. And I say that in quote unquote, as in I've given you, so you also have to repay me the love that I've shown you. If you decide to overlook what I've done for you, that is fine. When you come to the understanding, you would exhibit your love in a different way, shape, or form. But if I'm showing you love, it's purely because I understand the fact that that is who I am, and I'm giving you myself. And I don't need to expect anything in return. And he's saying that, I think Thursday, I was listening to a conversation you had with Brother Ishmael. It's an old one that you sent when you went to Ghana. And I was just about to send it to a page that I'm part of. I mean, it's a close page. Myself, Spencer, and Jam. So it wouldn't have bothered you a lot. But I thought to ask you first before I send it on that page. It's a very powerful one, very, very powerful one. If you have the permission, and you share with us. If you not share with us, you have the permission to share with us. It will be great. I was just talking about love. I don't know if you remember when you went to Ghana. The fact that open yourself. So when you say you need, there shouldn't be any need for you to close your heart when it comes to love. Brother Ishmael was talking about being able to love as many women as I want to love, as many men as I want to love. But for us, the moment I say that I have to love as many women I possibly can love, everybody will be looking at my face that, hey, this man, treacherous man. Only because we don't understand. The moment that thought come to your mind, that is in North of Mommy's mind, that is love being adulterated, and that is adultery. That's what he said. Yeah. So when I say I can love as many women, so I began to smile. I know that smile. I know her very well. So being able to be in the position where you've opened up your spirit, open up yourself to love whichever woman you see, whichever man that you see, because that is who you are. That's the only thing that you can express without having to have any thought of going to bed with a person. That is when love is adulterated. So last week you did talk about love being adulterated when we reciprocate, when we expect a reciprocation, or we expect that somebody loves us back because we have loved them. Yeah. So I think that's the bit that I heard, and I only chip in that session that you had with Brother Ishmael. Amen.
That's very true. Also, he says in there that adultery is to attach any sort of guilt feeling to the love that is rising in our heart, and putting conditions or measurements to love is how love gets adulterated, or being the love that we are, giving the love that we are, with an expectation of receiving it back, how love gets adulterated.
What about fornication?
What does love got to do with fornication?
No, you're saying adulterated, adultery. So I'm asking.
So good, it's good. But you see, it's because we think primarily that adultery, the word adulterate has got nothing to do with sex. Absolutely nothing. If you check the etymology of adultery, you realize it has absolutely nothing to do with sex. To adulterate something means to introduce a foreign, what's it called? Something that is foreign to its nature and its consistency. So if I have, let's say, gin, and I'm adding water to it, I am adulterating the gin.
And so you've committed adultery.
So don't mess up, Mary.
Okay. Anyway.
If you commit adultery against the gin, yeah.
Adulteration, in essence, is dilution. That is not consistent with its nature or with its character. It's an adulteration. It's got nothing to do with sex. It's just like what's it called? That we can use temperance in the sense of temperament, and temperance is also the discipline we have not to mix water with solid food immediately. That is also temperance. So it's just that. So added to that is also sometimes, I don't know if that thing, if we've ever had to feel that before, where no, my bad, just bear with me 1 second. You got me. Okay. So equally, is when you find yourself in a place where you want to, or when you were giving love, or you're offering love, or you're being love, but you want to be sure that you're going to get it back before you give. You know, I love, and I don't want us to even limit it. Often at times, whenever we're talking about love, we tend to limit it to persons. And I think I like to think that I've transcended that, where I am in a place now where I allow the love that is arising within me, letting my love flow freely out to the point that it touches all men, all beasts, all animals, or trees, or plants, or elements, everything within my space. See, when I'm looking at a flower and I'm going, oh, this is a beautiful flower, and adoring it. Have you ever paused and wondered, oh, is this flower loving me back? Yeah, or you're driving past, you're driving on the motorway, you're driving the country, you see this beautiful mountain. I do that. It's so gorgeous, so beautiful, and I love it. You ever pause and go, oh, does the mountain love me back? Oh, does the greenery love me back? Oh, I'm loving on this mountain. What if it doesn't love me back? See, let it arise and touch everything within your space. And I think that is the beauty of it. Because whenever we put a demand for reciprocity on love, what we in essence doing is we're stopping ourselves from loving. See? And I can't really belabor on that point. We're stopping ourselves from loving. We're stopping ourselves from being the loving presence that we are. So that's why there is the need for us to release ourselves from the need to experience the reciprocation of the love we are and the love we keep. The love you give is the love you keep, because that is the love. Okay? So no demand at all, no demand whatsoever. Experience that release from that need. What does it matter to love someone supposedly and they don't love you back the same? What difference does it make? Does it stop you from being loved? Does it stop your love and presence? But popular culture will tell us, oh, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. So you love someone, they don't love you, but go give your love to someone who will give it to you. What did Jesus say? He says that if you do good to those who are only in a capacity to do good to you, you are no better than an unbeliever, you are no better than a pagan. Is that not what he says? Exactly. So the focus of, I would say my teachings, and permit me to use that word, focus of my teachings is to bring us to a place of higher awareness of what it truly means to be the spiritual or the spirits that we are, or the humans that we are. So I put a lot, that's why I put a lot of emphasis, and that is the area I am desiring to experience my growth in. As to the basics of doing good to those who do good to you, everybody can do it. It's easy. But doing good to those who are not in a position and a capacity to give back to you, that to me is heightened awareness. And that is what it means to be the spiritual leader. In saying that, I just want to chip this in, because motives it's everything. See? I've come to a place now where I have accepted. Yes, we've talked in this space. I think time will not permit me to talk much about it this week because of what I intend to talk about, but maybe next week I'll pick that before we go on into our next principle. We have been on a lot about being the observer of your thought, being a passive witness, letting thoughts go, letting thought be, not relating with it, not identifying with it, just observing it and all that. But I found myself down the line in my own. I self. Paul said, "Let a man examine himself." Yeah. So I do my own appraisals often, and it hit me about a month and a bit ago when I realized that I have actually progressed further in that to analyzing or criticizing, not criticizing, be critically observing my motives as opposed to just my thoughts, because all of human action is as a result of a motive. All of our thoughts are also motive inspired. Think about it. All. And the more I get deeper into this space, the more certain scriptures make better meaning to me. Why would the scriptures say, why would the Lord say, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issue of life? make the inside of the cup clean, and the outside shall doubtless be clean. Out of the abundance of their heart will the mouth speak. Basically, motives. Solomon, when he became king, or before he became king, he got he got a charge and an instruction. That's in First Chronicles 28:9. It's a passage that I've loved since I came into contact with that. Since I came into contact with that passage. That's as far back as 1998. I've not recovered from it because it did something to me at that time. And the more I grow, the more I realize how relevant that is. If I Pastor K, do me the favor. I'm sure on this.
First Chronicles 28.
1 Chronicles 28:9.
1 Chronicles 28:9.
In fact, you can read 8 and 9.
First Chronicles 28:8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
The Wi-Fi password is on the Wi-Fi. Go ahead. From 8. Now therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the congregation of the Lord, and in the audience of our God, keep and seek for all the commandments of the Lord your God, that ye may possess this good land and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever. And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever.
Okay. Right, so yeah, he says he will cast thee off forever, but we understand what that means. That if you forsake him, you are going to feel cast out.
Yeah.
It's not that he's going to cast you. The word that he used, that he translates imagination, in that instance, is motive. Okay? He understands the motive behind every act, which means behind every action is a motive. Okay? So spirit judges motive. Spirit is a discerner, whether you want to call it Shakti or whatever. But the point is, that's why I say sometimes I shy from, I won't use words that we can relate to. I can use Sanskrit words and Buddhist or Hindu words, which will confuse you and make it sound very spiritual, or more spiritual than that it appears. But the point of it is this: I just want you to understand. When I say spirit, you understand exactly what I mean. Yeah. Saying this for the benefit of our audience as well. So he understands the motive behind, the discerner of thought, the motive behind every thought. Okay. When you read, I believe it's 1 Samuel 2:3. 1 Samuel 2:3 is also a passage that I love. It says something similar when he talks about the fact that is Hannah, when he says that the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him action are weighed. Some translation says by him motives are weighed. You're muted if you're talking.
1 Samuel 2:3. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let no arrogance come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
Actions are weighed. Yeah. The discerner of thought. So then, and something has hit me in that process. And it's an invitation I'll throw to all of us. That is, if it's not something that we're ready to. I'll take time. I'll take time next week, and just deal with that subject just a little bit more in line with my own experiences as well, and what No. What observations I've made in that regard as well. So, why am I bringing this in? The essence or the importance for us to even check the motivation for love. Okay? You get a loved one present, assumingly. Or we give gifts. What is the motive? Even when we do acts that are on the surface good acts. What is the motive? Is it pointed to us, or is it pointed away from us? I'll make a statement to this, that the highest motive I've come to find is no motive at all. And bringing ourselves to the place where our spirits are released and free of any sort of intention or any sort of misguided motive to our actions. I believe that it's beneficial to our spiritual growth or spiritual development, if I'm permitted to say that. And I think I don't want to sidetrack, but next week I'll take my time and touch more on that, and just share with you a few thoughts in my personal devotion as well. Because why does he weigh motive? Why the spirit? Why spirit, the discerner of motive, as motive inspires thoughts and actions, is because very simply all our actions spring forth from a motivation to either move towards pleasure or move away from pain. Okay, so you move motivated either by the love for something or the fear of something, the fear of the dread of something. You see, so it's important to constantly examine our motivation for doing the things we do. And I believe that's it's a very spiritual thing. Is your motivation as a result of a sense of feeling or a sense of having self-acceptance, self-approval, or because you fear rejection, for instance? That is one other thing that I want us to look at. Because it ties in with it kind of ties in with us being released of our need to be understood, our need to experience what is called reciprocated love. Fear of rejection. Fear in itself is one of the greatest diseases of mankind, if we should say. And I have come to accept that the fear of rejection could potentially be one of the all-time greatest fears of man. The fear of not feeling belong, not feeling a part of, feeling left behind, feeling like we don't fit, feeling like we are not among food or folk. It's a stark fear for many, and are being released from all of these or some of these things, obviously or undoubtedly will put us in a space where we will experience our freedom and we will live our liberties the way we are supposed to. Are you motivated by the vision of possibilities, or are you motivated by your fear of lack, for instance? What is the motivation? Because your motives ultimately will, or eventually will, determine your experiences. Yeah? And without releasing yourself from the need to be understood, for instance, which is one we have been on about in the past weeks, it will be difficult for you to even accept yourself. It will be difficult for you to accept yourself if you can't be released from the need to be understood. If you can't release yourself from the need to experience reciprocation of love, it will be difficult for you to even accept your own self. I've come to a place in my life now that I have made peace with the fact that it's okay to not be understood. And that enables you to be conscious of the love that surrounds you, as well as the love you are and the love that you give. If you are not burdened with the need to be understood, will you find need to constantly defend yourself and constantly justify yourself? You wouldn't. And it will boost your appreciation of the fact that the self-image is universal and it's never changing. Whether people understand you or not is immaterial. It's a blessing and it's a gift to find yourself in a space where someone understands you. It's a blessing. But if they don't, what does it change? You have to kill yourself. Yeah? Because like the more I think, the more I adjust myself to these principles, the more I feel my immortality. Immortality is the word for the weak, isn't it? England is becoming more. They're on the verge of becoming immortal. Yeah, because it's kind of released me into a new meaning of dominion, a new meaning of life, feeling more empowered over the dread of rejection, for instance. What does it matter? What does it matter? See, I don't know if you agree with me that rejection in most, you see, Jesus says, you see, the more I can't overemphasize this, the more I am lending myself into this space, the more I am even appreciating the things that Jesus. He says that when you go in a place with good news and they reject you, yeah, let your peace abide. Pick your shoes, pick your sandals, shake off the dust, and go and go and where's it go? Just go to the just hop onto the next spot. Don't die there. Don't force them to get your message. Don't force them to understand you. Let your peace abide, or take your peace with you and go somewhere else. That's what, and there's another way he thought. Motives. Because if I'm allowed to say this, Bereshmo shared this, and when he said that, I'm like, damn, this is so true. He said that rejection, for the most part, when people don't seem to get you, when people will outrightly reject you, for the most part, is just an advertisement of their own ignorance. Yeah. I'm not seeking your agreement on that, but it's just I accept that.
I'm just thinking of it. So just thinking about it.
Yeah. It for the most part is an advertisement of people's ignorance. And we are arming ourselves with the medication for this. Being free from the burden and the bondage of approval, acclaim, acceptance. What people cannot understand, they laugh at, they scorn at. And sometimes the mockery, okay, that comes from people. It's a cover-up for their own ignorance. The accounts will say is that we've been in our years, you're there now. Or it could be a cover-up for their own feeling of inferiority. And in very adverse dimensions, people may reject you for what they reject in themselves. For what they are afraid to confront in themselves. For what they find uncomfortable in themselves. Check it out. Because true is what he said when he said that take up the speck from your eyes so that you'll be able to take up the beam from your eyes so that you'll be able to see the speck in your brother's eye. Isn't it? So I have come to a place that I've accepted that when someone is struggling to get me, when someone is struggling to understand me, it's never about me. Maybe about them. And maybe the discomfort of what we don't like about ourselves forces us to reject what others present. When we get over this and we get over our dread and our fear of being rejected or our fear of being seen and being considered some way, what that does is that it frees you. And it puts you in a place when you don't stop yourself from being and doing the good that you are capable of doing. It may sound arrogant, but over my years, I've also identified and accepted that sometimes rejection by others could actually be evidence that your wisdom, your experience, your expertise is beyond what their mind is containing and what their mind is perceiving at the time. So don't let the fact that someone doesn't understand what you're doing stop you from doing what you need to do and what you need to do. I've said this humorously, and I've come to that acceptance and that realization that you cannot be a trailblazer without being seen some way. You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear now, yeah.
So what I was saying is that you cannot be a trailblazer without being seen some way. You cannot be a man or a woman who is living beyond your generation without being seen as controversial, without being seen as, if people understand everything that you're doing, you are only living in your time. If everything you're doing makes sense, you are only living in your time. One of the indications that you are living beyond your generation is that most of the things you do wouldn't make sense. Most of the things you say, most of the things that you are thinking will appear out of this world to your generation. If you find yourself in that space, know confidently that you are living beyond your generation. You are from this world, or you are of this world. How does it put it? You are of this world, but you are not from this world, isn't it? You are of this world, but you are not from this world. The two very much to see. Whatever I'm saying, I'll get the scriptures for it to confirm. So I don't know if anyone has got a question, anyone has got anything chipping.
Now go on, it's adding up beautifully.
And it's fine. You will not have all the answers per time. You will not get everything right per time. Perfectly okay. If you understand that there's nothing like mistakes in life, the universe is so generous, it doesn't make room for any excesses, it doesn't make room for any wastage. So all the supposed mistakes are all part of releasing this beautiful cosmic agenda. I mentioned to you that I'm starting this new channel, Welcome to Higher Self, and I was looking for a tagline or a catchphrase to go along with it. And whilst I was down, I was on my bed this morning just thinking it through. The phrase just hit me: unleashing cosmic legacy. Like, that's it. I'm like, that's it.
So that would be UCL. UCL is, UCL.
Unleashing cosmic legacy. It just hit me. All because I was like, tagline, and boom, it just hit me. Yeah. And saying that, let me just chip this in, just with all humility. I pray we all grow. And I've come from the place, obviously, you know me, Charles, you know me, this. I've come from the place where back in my tips days, it felt like, even though, yes, we claim subject matter experts, there was the feeling that, we have a certain understanding, and we are imparting that understanding to the world. And we've moved from there, we've grown from there. Where I find myself right now, I get a bit iffy when someone says, "Oh, Charlie, you are knowledgeable. Oh, Charlie, you know your stuff," and that kind of thing. I feel a bit iffy. I feel a bit on the edge, because I've come to appreciate that I know nothing. I know nothing. I've just been blessed to have knowledge or wisdom that the universe is intending to share for its own benefit get offloaded through me in this way. Blessed to have intuitive hits per time because that is on the universe's agenda to have that unfolding for the benefit of whoever, whether myself or another human per the time. So it is not me. I am not here. It's only divine life that is here as me. And with that thought, with that mindset, it keeps keeping me humble by the day. Charlie, you can wake up one day and you don't remember anything. You see the way sometimes you're even struggling, like you are trying to record something and it's not coming. That should humble you. You don't know what you think you know. You can wake up in the morning and you are like a blank slate. Unkashi. So if you think it's you knowing and your head is you are feeling bigger than your shoes because your head is bloated with knowledge, come on, calm yourself down. You know nothing. Providence is just found you in a way that it's making itself beneficial and using you just as a conduit. I don't know why I'm saying this. But these are some of the things which kind of help me or are helping me reinforce this thought, this mindset and this opinion, and enjoying this practice. It's okay to make mistakes because even those supposed mistakes contained in them are solutions for impactful living. It's okay. Rejection cannot stop me. See? It's been about the principle of community building. Sorry, I said principle of, I don't know why I went back to Wellbeing. It's not Wellbeing, it's the principle of community building is what we've been looking at. I think I made a mistake. I need to go and change the title. Sorry, I just remembered. I've taken this weeks back. A healthy person will not reject you when you are wrong, but instead will support you in your learning. When people reject you, Jesus said the prophet has no honor in his own house, in his own family. When people genuinely, when they rejected him,
social media is great because you can see everyone's holiday snaps and feel like you're there even though you're not there. Yeah.
When they rejected him, it was purely because of what they were afraid to confront. Is that not the case? Because he was pointing them too much to what they have been unwilling to confront in their own life. When people make it appear that they can't stand you, they rejecting you because of something that appears wrong with yourself, or it's just a case of them rejecting what they feel wrong in them, or what's called in their own selves. But it is someone who is a chronic liar, who tells lies, for instance, or who enjoys or who has the habit of lying. Okay, it's easy for such a person to be suspicious of everyone else, isn't it? Yeah, you know. That's why that generally that is what you think that is to do. If you ski, every time you're interacting with people, it's about community building. Every time you are interacting with people, you because that is what you're doing, you'll be thinking to yourself that okay, that is exactly what they also do, and it gets in the way of flow. Not sure if I'm making sense.
Yeah, Rev. Yeah.
I mean, no. We'll be very social new. Who's here? Oh, wow. Okay, so Marie is here. Teresa is also here. Is Amma gone? Okay, she's still there. Any questions, any clarifications required?
God bless you very much, Rev. Beautifully said and powerful. Like I said from the beginning, powerful. I think you said it all. To be fair, and it's true. I mean, I agree with almost everything that you said. The ones that I don't agree is probably just going to ponder over it. Maybe at this particular time, I cannot grasp it because I'm not that level yet. Put it that. But I agree with everything that you said. You did tell a few things like, be at a point in your life, like that musician said, I'm at the point in life, if you understand me or not. Misunderstand me or not, I'm okay. Sometimes, and I think in the past, I used to be at that place. Now, gradually, it's just recently that I realized that, you see, when you hit certain realm, something begin to change. You don't realize you are there, then you realize, oh, now I used to do this, I don't do this anymore. I did something, so is that all? And I say, yes. What more do you want me to say? I've said this. If you don't believe me, that is just it. So many a times we want to explain ourselves more for somebody to trust us. We think that the more we put in an explanation, the more we put in an evidence, then the person will trust us. It's only because we want to seek people's approval. We want to be understood, like you said. We want to be heard.
You muted.
Are you?
Can you hear me? Jay, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't hear Kay. His sound is gone. I don't know.
Your sound is gone. I can't hear you.
You're not muted either.
So maybe your system audio has changed to something else. Okay, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You're saying something important there, but
Can you hear us?
I don't know if you want to leave and join and rejoin. Hold on a second. Okay. So whilst he's rejoining, I don't know if anyone else has got anything to chip in on that. Yeah, Kweku. I can hear your background faintly, but I'm not hearing you. That's weird. Okay.
Does he have any gadget that he uses for maybe like headphone or something, earbuds or something like that?
Can you hear me now?
Bisano, so if he has any headphone that's connected via Wi-Fi or something. Sorry, earbuds.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I know what it is. I saw a headphone sign on my thingy. I think I said I'll pick my headphone in the hall and put it on.
Right, go on. Yeah, so just say what
Yeah,
you're saying because I wasn't hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, as I was saying, it is true because and I think I find myself there now. It's not something that I thought of it, but I'm getting more into saying things once and not having to explain myself. If I say I'll do something for you, I'll do it. If you ask me, are you sure? Are you sure? I don't say just take my word for it. It's not a problem, just take my word. If I say I'll do it, I'll do it. It's because we want to be understood. And on the other hand, we want people to give us more explanation to be able to believe what they are saying. We tend to be so much bothered about whether they understood what I said, whether they believe what I said or not. On the other hand, also, sometimes we are forced to, or we tend to force people to understand us because of allegiance. You want to get a lot of people in your corner, to prove a point. So at least if I have real understanding, if I have just understanding, if I have Maria understanding me, then at least of mommy will know that what I was saying was true. If you have no worries, if you have no fear, if you have no intention of being superior over anybody, then who cares? If you understand what I'm saying, which is a simple English, Reverend, I want to go to Ghana tomorrow. You understand that? That I say I want to go to Ghana. If you believe it or not, I don't care. If you understand the English that I've spoken, that is good enough. But whether you want to side with what I'm saying, whether you want to be in my corner, that is not the point. And I think many a time that is why we force people to understand us, to be in our corner too. 1 second. And so it is true. We don't have any need to be understood. It doesn't mean you shouldn't put clarity to what you are saying. Because I don't care if people understand me or not, so I just say it, I'll say it anyhow, and then just leave it. Leave people confused, leave people, in the loop. Put your point across. Put your fact across. If you understood, good. If yet still people don't understand you, it is also fine. And the points that you outline, it is true. All the points that you outline, Rev, is true. Sometimes people don't understand you only because they are not in that realm where you are at that particular time. And you can bear witness. In recent times, I come back to you and I say, oh, Rev, then you tell me that, but I told you this some time ago. I understood the English part of the statement, but I could not wrap I did not understand. I only say, oh, okay, Rev, just know for you to stop talking or probably go on with the next one. But I did not understand what you said. My thinking ability was not at that level yet. My reality was not there yet. So sometimes when people are not where you are, they cannot understand you. What you are saying will be foreign to them. Sometimes you will say something which I don't use the word better than what the person knows, but which probably, what word can I use? Loosely better than what the person is saying, for want of a better word. It's not everybody who can come to terms with the fact that, oh, Rev knows. I think what we're talking about, Rev has got an advanced knowledge to the one that I have. Not everybody can accept that. And so you go explain Taya, they will not agree. And so I believe that the onus lies on me to put my point across well, to put clarity to my statement. And once that is done, it's okay, whatever happens. Amen.
Huh.
Oh, I haven't got anything. Thank you.
Joshua?
No.
Marie?
No, thank you.
Just chipping in this. Last week, I think for the second time, they called me to Asida school that she's done something. So I went there, was having a chat with the teacher. Then sometimes they called the second time. Then I went there myself. But this time, the third time, they asked me to come there. This time they went to bring the head of chaplain as well. They said, I said that she's a fantastic girl, clever girl, very polite, respectful and all that. And they've noticed that when she gets angry, she begins to react in a certain manner. How do you think is? And the teacher made a comment. She made a few points of why she thinks. She made a comment that Asida is very confident in herself. So which she thinks is something that the other student cannot comprehend. Prior to these few events, somewhere last year, there was a boy in the class. He's moved school now. He's now in the same school with Jaden. I went to the school and the boy's mom attacked me. She just came straight to me. The son was coming to school today. She refused to come to school. He's crying. Why? Because Asida is bullying him. So I go home and I called the teacher. I said, "That's what I've heard. It's my daughter bullying boys in school." And she said, nothing of that sort. But she thinks that is a bit stronger, and out there, like I got it. I know my stuff. I know I'll take you. That sort of. So it makes it's intimidating, yeah. And then she appears a bit stronger. You know how her height and stuff. Yeah. Appears a bit stronger for most of her peers. So that was there. So when I met her last week, was it just Friday? And she brought that as that being confident in herself. I said that's our address that have even if she's confident, she needs to be able to get to that point of being able to manage that. It's also something that we need to look at. So the point why I brought this in is the fact that sometimes.
No, leave him. He's not disturbing you. You are disturbing yourself.
Sometimes people cannot understand us because of how we carry ourselves, who we are, and they understand that you know about yourself and the things that you can do, the things that you want to do. You did say sometimes you are living beyond your generation. Have you not realized when you know your stuff, they say you are too known? Realize they say, you're too known.
Yeah.
Before they even listen to what you are saying. You're too known. But I know what I'm saying. I know. Why don't you go and find out if it is true? If you get to know that what I'm saying is true, that is it. Rather than finding out, people will just hide behind those phrases. You're too known. Sort of. And that is when you are not careful, it rubs off on you, and then you begin to coil back. Because people will think that meaning, because people say that I'm too known, it might rather have effect on you. Being able to accept and work with the understanding of what you've just shared, that you don't need to understand what I'm saying. You don't need to side with me. You don't need to believe what I'm saying. I know that what I'm saying is true. I've made my point, and that is it. People cannot just sometimes understand you because they are not on the same level. On the same level doesn't mean you being better than them in anything, that sort of, but in terms of your awareness, they're not in the same level of awareness. Let me use that. That's the right word. In the same level of awareness. I think that is the key point to people not understanding you, not being in the same level of awareness. Now you say things and I understand you easily. Once you are saying it before you end, my spirit catches for say, wow, it just catches fire like that. You can start something and I can continue for you. But the same thing that you are saying, go and tell somebody in a different church. You're heretic. You've lost. Why? It is only because both of you are not on the same understanding. You're not on the same reality. You're not on the same awareness. Amen.
I want you to allow your eyes to close briefly. We've done this way before, and we'll do it again today. I want you to make this statement a few times. That I release myself from the need to be understood. Because I am a mystery to be discovered. I release myself from the need to be understood because I am a mystery to be discovered. And as you say and repeat these words, listen. Your life and take a note of past events that this may be addressing. Just repeat it to yourself a few times and listen to events which comes to your mind, which this statement is or may be addressing. And when you find any such instance, any such occasion, or any such event, what I want you to do is locate yourself at the beginning of that event. And make a note of what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're tasting, what you're smelling, what you're feeling while in that particular event. And continue to make the statement. Basically, what you're doing is you are revisiting this and readdress and realigning it with the understanding that you now have. And as this event plays in your mind, I want you to even begin to look at the faces of the people involved. What were they saying? What was the temperature of the day? What was the atmospheric like? Bring as much vividness to the experience as possible as you can bring, even as you repeat this. Praise to yourself. I release myself from the need to be understood because I am a mystery to be discovered. Just feel it. Allow to recall the event with as much vividness. Venus, you repeat this statement. You can do it for one more time and recall one more event if you want. Or you can continue to draw from the various perceptions of that particular event that you're capturing as a style. And as you make this statement, it's addressing the cards, stimulating in you divine abilities. positively or impactfully address any such events as they arise in your life, in your space, in coming days. Take 3 deep breaths and allow yourself to return to the consciousness of your body. Once you're so done, I want you to open your eyes. And repeat that statement a few more times. I release myself from the need to be understood. I am a mystery to be discovered. And you could also with that make this statement with me. I return to the past and successfully release all who misunderstood me at any point. I release myself from all these feelings of being misunderstood, feelings of being rejected, these feelings of being misinterpreted. I release myself of all the abuses that I experienced, knowing and understanding that anyone who made me feel this way didn't mean it for evil. They only acted from their place of limited knowledge and experience. It has never been about me. It has never been against me. And it's purely been the advertisement of the person's maturity and their cry, their demand, and their expectation of me to be something other than what I was being advertised. I give myself permission to be me. I embrace me. And I enjoy me to the very fullest. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
From my life to us. Peace.